Hello survivors, I am SurvivalVis, and welcome to The Flame in the Flood. One of my favorite survival games has actually been released. Now when it first came out, it actually didn't have that much focus or attention drawn to it, and I can understand why. It was a little buggy on first release, there were some issues here or there were technical issues, but a lot of it was smoothed out in patches, but I'm afraid it just never really got the attention I think it deserved. So what we're going to do here is just a campaign run through, play along and see if we can get through the story alive or not. And just kind of give it a little more exposure in what I think is a little bit of an overlooked, but still very enjoyable survival experience. So we'll just do new game there. Wish to proceed. Yeah, that's what starting new means to do. Okay, so we have the two options here. We have recommended for new players, checkpoints, normal abundance supplies for a traveler. Or survivalist, we're recommended for experienced players, permadeath, few supplies, and stats diminish and increased rate. So I think because, just like the Long Dark, we are trying to get the story done, we'll probably do Traveler. If we were doing the endless mode, which is an option in the game, we'd probably do a higher difficulty. But because I want to show off the story and just a lot more mechanics a bit easier, we're going to do Traveler. And then Scout options. We can change the dog. One thing that I did wish the game kind of looked at doing was kind of mod support, or just reskin support, to be honest. Like being able to change how your dog looks. But we'll just stick with the default of Aesop there, and we'll just start us off. So that little pooch right there is Aesop, and he's going to be a big factor in the story. So I'll talk a little more once the intro's kind of out of the way, but there's a lot I can go over because I do really enjoy this game. And that's already our intro. As you can see, Aesop was able to bring us a little bag with a radio in it. I'm just going to get some charcoal from the fire there and start going along. Now, one of the things I was a little I'd say hesitant about starting the series because of one big thing. Oh, I'll get in that in just a moment. Just a little bit of survival info here. So Scout Basics. Scout's the name of the survivor we are. So player inventory. All your little meters there, hunger, thirst, temperature, rest. Nice straightforward upfront explanation. Then resources are just kind of in the world like this. Just right-click on them and we'll pick some stuff up. There's an old sign here. Camp Pinewood. Find home for a spell, but it's time to move on, see where this dog came from. Maybe there's someone else out there. So the reason I was hesitant to upload this is because The Flame in the Flood has a very good theme, but it really achieves that theme with its soundtrack. And a lot of the songs in it, they all are copyright to their singers, bands, or creators. But I wasn't sure if I'd be able to actually upload a video with them all in place to really get the theme and the feel of things down. Oh. The Black Wolf. The wolf is the archetype of rabbit, the beast of waste and desolation. Roosevelt, really? Thought he'd be a little different than that. Well, then again, he says kind of archetype, maybe stereotypical or something. Yeah, can't survive for long against a wolf. You need traps to kill it, but space will let you kind of spook him a little bit. So unlike the Long Dark, the wolves here are much faster and quicker to come on you. Oh. And then a little bit of water info here for us. Water is a key for, well, any survival, really. Use jar to gather water from the rain, wells, puddles, or river. You may consume polluted water, but beware of the consequences, and it can be filtered by a crafted water filter. So we'll just open that up. But before I keep getting taken off of the track I'm on, the soundtrack when you're in one part of the game just sells this so much and just really brings alive this kind of, I'd probably call this Tom Sawyer-ish sort of folk America feeling to it. It'll become a lot easier to understand once we're actually going along, but it's that feeling that I just really wanted to make sure to get in my video, or my playthrough of this. And because I think I can give the creators of the soundtrack and the music their credit and due, I might be able to upload everything with all the songs right there to be able to listen to, and I'm hoping that's the case, because once it gets going, you'll really just slip right into it. The quick use menu. This was one of the features that still has a few little bugs or tweaks to it, so I'll kind of, when they come up, I'll talk about ways around them and how to handle that. But for now, I mostly just go right from the menus to be able to do anything, really. We'll grab those. And then along the little way, you have kind of side quests or little tasks that they can ask you to do to get some things. Like here's one. A new goal, basic tools. So to check that, we'll just open our inventory. And here's goals right here. So we have the radio signal. All the radio's still working. Just need to get close to the source. Maybe find high ground to hear the message. Our basic tools. Craft a stone knife and stone hammer. Need them to craft all manner of supplies. So that's kind of our quest goals and what we're going to be after. Any afflictions were nothing against us, so we're doing just fine there. Crafting. We won't go through too much of it just because there is so much available for us. But that's just the crafting menu, well, crafting guide there. Our inventory. As you can see, we do have a lot of spots. We can also increase the amount of spots we'll get as well by making certain things. And this is our clothing with insulation ratings and just a few things like that. And there's the temperature over there on the side. Oh, and we'll just a little bit of info on the river. Rafting. I do not know much about gods, but I think that the river is a strong brown god. Solid, untamed, and tractable. So rafting, although it says you can use the mouse this here, I always like using the WASD for it. I feel like you get a lot more control and you're able to maneuver a lot more finely with that. But that's everything for the first area, so we're already going to head off and on our way. We're just going to get a drink and then we're going to get right into it. And already there's the music. And this soundtrack is just so fitting for this kind of game. We're just going to go nice and slow to really enjoy it. Because doesn't that just feel like that nice kind of backcountry folk sort of sounding music? And there's the lyrics. Aww. That's the one thing I wish the game got more notice for, was how well it can really convey this feeling of being just out on the river, trying on your own to make it. Yeah, so when it comes to rapids like this is definitely where I like the WASD, because it feels like you get a much smoother thing. You can also slow your raft down a bit by holding S, or your back key, whichever you might try assigning to it. Or you can speed up with W. Space is kind of like your last little minute thrust or push. Just a little way of hopping out through the area. So we're reaching 1 of 10. So I'm hoping to get at least a couple of regions done per episode. Oh, I love the soundtrack to this. Now what you can see up ahead are little symbols of spots where you can go and stop along the course of the river to pick up supplies. The first one we're, well, probably not stop at just because we don't have anything really to pick up there. But that's a marina where we can repair our raft, upgrade our raft, a few things kind of like that. What we're going to head for is this little fish bait shop right here. We'll just dock on there. Entering Thailand. Now, this game is kind of a mix of procedural generated, but also kind of repetitive assets as well. Like, all the bait shops are going to be just laid out like this, but you won't know. Like, we found saplings down here. There's no telling what you could find on a different one. So it kind of has that. You can get a little familiar with some of the layouts so you know what you're looking for a bit. We'll just check the bait shack. Nope, we'll take that. And now we'll head to the raft and we'll open up the menu. Now, as you can see on the inventory, you have your backpack, Aesop has a little bag to carry things, and a raft stash. What I want to do first, we'll use this as a stitching kit, because one of the big things we'll want to do, we'll move that to Aesop, we can move the old lumber to the raft, and I think we'll move the feathers to the raft along with the charcoal, just so we have ample space. But you want to secure food, water, and then you want to look at being able to increase your storage capacity. Just that way you can always keep finding stuff that'll help you along the way. Oh, Apple's getting a little turn around there. There's just a little push to get us going again. We didn't take the smartest route there just because we only got the one stop in. But we all are also doing very good on all of our meters, so we don't have to worry too much about immediate stops. So we're able to kind of cruise down the river a little further and see what else we can find. I think each region... I'm not actually sure how much the distance is for them. Well, but I am going to try doing a little maneuvering, because there is just a little... something over there we can get. Nope. And I took a bit of damage to the raft, not much, but we were able to pick up a little bit of old lumber. If you're going down along the river, you'll find shopping carts just kind of on the sides or small spots like that. If you're close enough, you can just do the mouse, or do whatever prompt it gives you, and you should be able to pick up whatever items are there. And as we can see, we're into night with the little meter on the top right there. I think we're going to stop by the campfire. That's usually pretty good for supplies. There is a church, but I don't think we'll... I think we'd be better off trying for the camp, and then maybe even that... I probably won't be able to hit that one, though. There is a farm quite a ways away, though. Oh. That's peculiar. Couldn't even get to the campsite. I guess we're going to do the wilderness and then try for the farm over there. That is another spot where the game can be a little buggy in how it generates things. It has improved since the release, as I mentioned earlier, but there are still some things where there's a few issues here or there that could be smoothed out. Anything in the car? Oh, a jar. That'll come in handy. Oh, and some berries. There's a nice bit of food for us. Let's see what else we can find. Oh, some rags. Those will be handy. There we go. Some flint is just what we needed. There are also shelters in the world. Like, this one's an old bus that you can just hop in, enjoy sleep, or like the bait shop was another one. There are upgrades to the raft where you'll be able to make them and always have those on with you. Another jar. Those will really come in handy. Let's see, anything over here? Oh, another car we can search. Oh, some nuts and bolts. That'll be good much later down the line. Yeah, we'll take a bit of garlic. I think that's everything for this spot. So we'll put all this into the raft and then keep going. Let's see what we got. I do want to make... I think I just need to make a couple braided cords for this. Oh, yeah, there we go. So we'll already make the stone knife, because that'll be one of our essential tools for crafting. As you can see, we opened up the raft frame. The tool belt is right at the top, and then there will be a little durability bar that'll come up for it. I think that's all we'll do for now, but we will move some of the stuff around. There we go. That should be good right as it is. And I think we'll keep going and try to find that farm next. Now with the distance, and because of how kind of laterally, I guess might be the best term for how it was kind of laid out, we should be able to... There we go. Just able to get in range of it. You don't have to be right on the docks or right at the tip, but you can get a fair distance away and still be able to make it there. So we'll pick up all the corn we can here. Grab saplings, more corn. And we got some... Oh, and we found a boar. Now these guys can be a little annoying. They are pretty easy to handle, but they still can be a little troublesome. So I'm just going to sprint to take what's in there. Oh, what's in there? I think we should be all right up here. Yeah, we're all right there. Nope. Now, you don't want to let him ram you, because he can give you some nasty things like breaking bones or causing lacerations. If we do find enough things, I think we'll actually look at handling him for good. But for now, once we get some distance, he should just leave us alone. Oh, and that's another thing we wanted, is sumac. So I'll have to see what we're dealing with for supply-wise, but we might be pretty good at... Oh, another thing I missed. There we go. We could actually make, or we may have some of the pieces for a metal hammer. But what we're probably going to do is see what we can make. Because there are a few things that we could do here. We'll move the bolts to the raft. We'll move that to Aesop. Okay. So, we don't want clothing. We don't want the food yet. We don't want the first aid. We want whatever this one is, because what I want to look for is the spear trap. So we would need 3 braided cords to do that. But how much? That would use up all of our cattail. But one of the things I'd rather do is make this gas bomb. And for that we need a fire. So to make a fire, it'll be 1 tinder. And then an old lumber, some tinder, and the flint, and that'll make us a campfire. So what we're going to do... So we're going to take that. Now this is where I'm going to use the quick menu. My advice is if you're going to use the quick menu, don't be moving, because... We'll sit down by... Well, I'll get some charcoal first, but then we'll sit and we'll do a little crafting here. So what I want to make is that gas bomb. And then we'll make a couple of ash cakes. That way we have some nice food and supply there. And I think we'll also cook this yucca here. So that should be everything for there. So now we'll leave. Now I'm just going to show you... Oh. Well, this will help us a little bit, actually. It suddenly got dark because we're probably going to see a... Yeah, there's a storm coming in. We'll move that to the raft, move that to the raft. We'll keep the jar. Move that to the raft, move that to Aesop. Move those to the raft, just so we can keep things. And that to the raft. So it will probably start raining on us pretty soon. Well, that's alright, and that's actually something we are hoping for. So maybe what I'll even try doing is just getting a few hours of sleep. And if we come out and it's raining, or it's sunny, okay, good, it's sunny, so we can use that quite a bit. So what we're going to do is try to be... Now, this is where we wanted to make the jar of fumes for. So what I want to try to do is line up as many rabbits together as we can. I didn't realize this was a thing you could actually do. I'm not even sure how I found it out. I think I was either watching a video or I read a guide or something. But the jar of fumes can be used to kind of clear out small creatures. And if it works... Looks like that one was probably immune to it, unfortunately, because he was in the hole. But once that dissipates, we'll head over and we'll collect those. Yeah, there we go. So that's some fresh meat and rabbit hide. Oh, it looks like even that one got it. And the reason we did that is we'll get back to the boat, and we're already going to be able to make an upgrade for what we got. Our fire stayed too. Sweet. So now we're also going to cook what we can. So we'll make the one jerky, just so that way it's nice that we keep. And that's what we wanted, is a pouch. So that'll expand how much we can keep on us. And we'll just cook the last bit of meat, and then that should be everything for here. There is also that well I'll probably try to sneak in and get a drink from. Yeah, we'll have that because we're at 64. That'll bring us up to 99. Perfect. Aesop can carry that, and the rabbit hide will put to there. So that's one of the things, is it might not be an overly forgiving game, but if you can learn a few tips and tricks of things, you can do pretty well with it. Maybe we'll just get that before he got after us. So we're just going to sprint off, so that way we can depart again. So I think what we'll do is we'll head off on the raft, and then the next stop will probably be the end of the first episode. I want this to be a bit more of shorter episodes, just so that way they aren't too long. And because I do like giving the series a little more time to play out. Oh, another jar. Let's see how good we can be about this one. Ah, there we go. A little smart maneuvering, you can really stock yourself up. Oh, we'll head over that way. Just try to avoid the cars that are taken down. Now, I don't remember how you kind of have a grace period when you first start of either distance or by time before you'll start seeing wolves. Yeah, smash that one pretty good. Well, we did get a jar out of it, so it's not too bad. I'll just have another quick drink. I do have to hand it to them when they were coming out with the procedural generation for the river. It is still very smooth and very seamless. Like, there was the one camp we couldn't get to, but I maybe only encountered that once or twice a playthrough. It's usually fairly good with how well that all kind of comes together. We're into some patches of rapids, so we gotta be mindful here. Oh, and we hit a check. Okay, so... Ow. Another hit to the raft. We'll definitely need to stop by a marina soon. Repair some of that. But we're into the next region. So I think maybe each region is approximately 3 or 4 miles in kind of span. But this one we're definitely going to try to hit. We'll hopefully hit... Yeah, we're going to hit the wilderness here. And call it here. Just let the saving go through. Okay. So, thank you guys for watching. This has been episode 1 of The Flame and the Flood. We're going to keep the series going right along and hopefully clear out the entire story campaign through our Let's Play series. So, as always, survivors, thank you very much for joining me today. Remember to take care and stay alive.